When you're just getting started inside of Raid, just building as many key role champions as you possibly can on your account is the only thing that matters, right? An increased speed buffer champion, at least one big AoE nuker champion, a champion that brings an AoE decreased defense, right? It might be an Ugo, it might be a War Maiden. You're just trying to check those boxes. A decreased attack champion as well is going to help out a lot. Not to mention at least, one dedicated healer. And once you've got that core team built, that's when you can start building more specialized champions to help you out at very, very specific areas of the game and help you conquer and just progress beyond certain bosses, right? Seeker as a provoker into Magma Dragon and into Hydra. Good old Seas as a multi-hitter and 10-meter controller champion to take into Fire Knight. But knowing which champions to rank up next on your account is like half of the battle, man. So what is up, guys? This is Cobb, and here are 7 tips, man, for just maximizing progress on your account in terms of which champions you build, how to build them, and all of that good stuff, man. I've been abusing these tips on my own free-to-play account to progress very, very steadily, and it's been going awesome, so I thought I'd share them in a video, man. Hey, if you're looking to create a new Raid account, by the way, make sure to go ahead and get that in right now by clicking on the beginner promo link that's down below this video at the top of the description box. If you're looking to start off a new free-to-play account, that link down below is the way to do it, man. So join me in my free-to-play adventure. Click on that link and use it to create your new account for all of the free stuff that you see on screen right now. You're going to secure yourself a double legendary stat along with 3 free epic champions that you'll grab for free as you level up your account, man. It's the best way to start off a new Raid account in 2025, so make sure to get it done and join me in my free-to-play challenge. So tip number 1 we've already kind of covered, right? It's just knowing which champion to rank up next, which usually comes down to filling gaps in your roster, right? Again, an AoE decreased defense champion, at least one dedicated healer, an increased speed champion, some 10-meter controllers, block buffs champions, and HP burners are going to be very, very good as well as you progress to specialize into certain areas. Once you've done that, tip number 2, and this might seem obvious to a lot of people, but if you've watched any of the account takeover videos that we've done here on this channel, and there are many, many of them, you'll see this is actually a very, very common mistake, especially for newer players inside of Raid, and that is, look, man, if you're going to start booking up a champion, okay, whether it's an epic or legendary champion, my god, finish booking the champion that you're working on. Do not spread your skill tomes between champions, okay? The amount of account takeovers that I've done where I check on, like, okay, we've got the Donatello here, and he's, like, half booked. Some of his skills are booked. Some of his skills don't have any. Then I'll click on the Hefrak, and the Hefrak's got a couple of skill tomes randomly, and then we'll click on, I don't know, the Drexthar, and the Drexthar's got, like, a random book in his A1. I just belched as I said the word 1. Oh my god, I apologize. Oh god, I can only imagine how that sounded through the mic. I apologize sincerely, man. Excuse me. Oh god. Okay, just finish booking the champions that you're working on, okay? You got a powerful champion on your account, a legendary champion. Make sure that once you started booking them, finish booking them, okay? Get the cooldown reductions on their skills, okay? A powerful champion is powerful because they've got strong skills. Make those skills lower cooldown, and you're just exponentially increasing the power of that champ. Secure cooldown reductions on their skills, and of course for champions that are debuffer type champions like a Supreme Gallic, who's placing HP burn and block buffs. And block buffs, it's so bloody important to have 100% uptime on block buffs as much as you can into an area of the game like Hydra. Same thing with decreased speed as well. You need good uptime on these debuffs, these big key debuffs that are going to help this champion to pop off. Get them to 100% land rate by getting champions like your debuffers, like Supreme Gallic, fully booked up, okay? You can't afford to be sitting on a 75% land rate for such important debuffs like this on your Legos. And by the way, it's like a tip 2.5, I guess I'll throw this in here as well, is that when it comes to the most powerful champions on your account that you are focusing your legendary skill tomes onto, and you're trying to get these guys fully booked up, as quick as possible, you also want to commit your best gear to these champions as well. The most powerful champions on your account should not only get skill tome priority until they're fully booked, but they should also get the best gear on your account that you have available to you on that account, depending on where your account is in terms of development. For me, for my damage dealers, right now that's Tholan Foulbeard, my best damage dealer. He gets the best damage dealer gear, which I've managed to get a Relentless set on him, and it works pretty good. It's not the best gear set to have on a Tholan, I know. I'd rather have him in like Savage or Lethal, of course, but this is what I've got to work with, and it works really, really good for him. And yeah, another thing that I want you to do, and this is going to be tip number 3, and this is especially the case for players that are in the early game or the early mid game sort of region of their account. Maybe you've got like a dozen level 60s days or something, you know, and you're really just getting started, still in your raid adventure, what you want to do is go ahead and plan out all of your dungeon teams. But what I want you to do is do what I've done right here, which is set up a team to use for right now in the current dungeon stage that you're in. And this might use, you know, a bunch of epic champions that you leveled up. You might have like a Kale in here, for example, not a supreme Kale, just like your regular rare champion Kale. You know, it's like a lot of your starter champions and your beginner friendly champions. Epic champions and rares are a lot easier to build than legendaries. So you want to build those champions out first and just have a team to use for right now into, for example, Dragon. And you can do this for Fire Knight, you can do this for Demon Lord Clan Boss, Dragon, whatever, all areas of the game. Build a team to use for right now to just get you to stage 16 or stage 20 or whatever the early stages you can hit into Dragon. And then you want to build a team to use for later on as well that employs the use of a lot more legendary champions that are going to be a lot better in that dungeon, but only once these champions are fully bugged up. It's no good throwing a bunch of legendary champions into a team that don't have skill tomes, that don't have 100% land rate on, for example, Mikey's decreased attack debuff. Like, if this thing fails to land against a higher stage of Dragon, you're just dead. Like, it's just not going to end well. Same thing if he's not landing his decreased defense on his A2 because it's also not fully booked and it's only 75% land rate. Like, that's a big lose condition for like an early game team, you know? So what you want to do is build a team to use for right now that's using much more accessible champions. I know this team for right now is still using a lot of legendaries, so it's not a very good example, but my free-to-play account is now getting to the stage where I can start switching over to a lot of my later teams, right? A lot of teams that I planned out for the future because most of these champions here now are fully booked, you know, so this is what you want to be doing. This is going to give you a good sense of direction for which champions to build next on your account, right, where you're just going through all of the dungeons and you're setting up teams to build towards. It's going to give you a very, very clear picture of what you're working towards in your account. And you can see, actually, there aren't really any teams that I'm looking to build out for later on my free-to-play account. I've kind of built and booked most of them, so I'm getting to the point now, my free-to-play, once I'm like 9 months in now on this free-to-play account, you know, where I'm getting to just use a lot of those teams that I planned out for later, and so it's paying off for me now, big time. Tip number 4. This one is going to be all about Hydra. This is a huge, huge stumbling block for new players. It's a huge new challenge. And so for me, Hydra deserves its own special spot. You need to build a good, reliable Provoker champion and a good block buffs debuffer champion, right? It might be an Ugo, it might be an Ostrox. You need somebody who's got an AoE skill, block buffs debuff, to take into your Hydra teams. It's going to help get your foot on the door into hard and normal Hydra and get you started. You want to be planning for your Hydra teams well in advance, to be honest. You can kind of ignore Hydra once you're like 3 or 4 months into your raid account. Once you're like 5-6 months and beyond, you got to really be thinking hard about setting up your Hydra teams as a new player. It is daunting. It's a tough game mode to get started in, but yeah, just like before with the dungeon teams, you want to plan out which Hydra teams you're going to use for right now, right? So your Hydra A team is going to be your best champions. A speed or a lead is going to be great. A provoker champion, in this case I'm using Seeker. A block buffs champion in the form of Ugo. A dedicated healer / reviver, and then a couple damage dealers. Ideally, at least one champion on the team that's bringing a decreased attack debuff as well is going to help you out a hell of a lot. And so I'm putting all my better champions really into the A team. And then in my B team, it's a bit more hodgepodge. The Kale is not really the best option. The Phoenix, he's fine. He's fine. He's not really the best option. The Alice is the aura lead. You know, it's an attack aura. It is active in all battles, so she's doing something, but she doesn't really bring a lot of tools that are great into Hydra. And the Donnie isn't fully booked, and so he's only making the B team for the time being, you know. Also, Tholin's a great Hydra champion, but honestly, the Tholin and the Gallic are kind of interchangeable between the A team and the B team. Whatever. I'm just spreading the damage out between the two, you know. The point is that I'm building teams to use for right now, and I'm also planning out multiple teams to use in the future, right? A future Hydra A team that I can build actually quite soon is going to involve Skrank, and so that's just a good AoE HP burner champion, and so I know that I'm going to need to focus on building up the Skrank sometime soon. So as you can see, I'm actually working on that right now. The Hydra B team in future is probably going to be using the Leonardo, probably going to be using the Venalicia, great champion that we pulled recently as our block buffs champion. It's going to be using a Master Butcher as the Provoker because I don't really have any better options, you know. And so, but yeah, you can see that I'm putting together all of these Hydra teams that I'm planning out for the distant future. In some cases, the real distant future with the C team right here. a lot of champions here that are kind of lower priority in terms of legendaries for skill bucks, like Wither and Drexthar. But the point is that I'm planning these teams out, so I'm giving myself a roadmap of champions that I'm looking to build for champion training and stuff like that. And it's kind of in order of priority as well, for the most part. And so it makes it very, very clear to me which champions I should be building next. Like I said, I'm building the Skrank. As soon as the Donnie's fully booked, probably the Venalicia is going to be getting the books next, if not the Leonardo. Actually, probably the Leonardo, then the Venalicia, let's be honest. Leonardo's just an absolute monster, so want to get him booked straight away after the Donnie, and then move on to the Venalicia. The Shamil is just farming levels and masteries right now, and then I'll be moving on to the C-Team champions. And so, yeah, it's all just about planning ahead and sort of checking as many boxes as you can going into each boss, right? Each boss requires very, very specific tools, buffs, and debuffs to take on that boss, and so just planning ahead with what you're building is going to pay off massively in the long run. Tip number 5, and this is always a controversial one whenever I bring it up. I don't give a damn, I'm going to bring it up anyway. As soon as a champion hits 5 stars on your account, level them only in Minotaur, okay? You want to farm their masteries in Minotaur anyway. Okay, if you start farming a champion's masteries as soon as they hit 5 stars, right? So, for example, like Doom Priest, he is 5 stars, Miscreated Monsters 5 stars, the Leonardo, he's legendary, so you just get him and he's 5 stars. If you start farming a champion's masteries inside of Minotaur, as soon as they hit 5 stars on your account, just level them up and eventually rank them up to 6 stars by leveling them up only in Minotaur. By the time they hit level 58 on your account, or 59 sometimes on your account, and to 6 stars, they'll have full masteries and they'll be ready to go straight away. You're gonna farm their masteries anyway inside of Minotaur. You might as well farm the XP inside of Minotaur as well, and really just sort of double dip or triple dip, I guess, in terms of resources that you're getting from Minotaur while you're at it. This method requires patience. Requires a lot more patience than I'd say a large minority of people have, you know, and it's fine if you don't want to do this. I'm just saying as an efficiency tip, I swear by it. I feel like it's very, very much worth doing. It means that you pull a legendary champion and you really don't get to use them for like a month, you know? Because you don't want to farm Minotaur that often. You kind of farm it in downtime and stuff, so you're not farming it all the time. But so it can take some time to actually get the legendary champion that you've pulled into your roster. But in terms of resources and saving resources on your account and just being maximally efficient with energy expenditure, I absolutely swear by this method. I think that is great. Tip number 6. This is going to be another maybe slightly controversial one. I know some people love live arena and just live arena game modes and just the PvP game modes inside of Raid in general, apart from Tag Arena, which, you know, everybody hates. But tip number 6 is going to be, this is especially the case for anyone who's in like the early game or even like the early mid game, or maybe just like the mid game of their account. Ignore PvP champions. Ignore them completely. At the end of the day, man, PvP is great. It's good and all. It's never going to be more important for setting your account up for success in the long run compared to building, I don't know, like a Demon Lord clan boss team, right? Having a team on your account, especially like an early game account, that can 2-key Ultra Nightmare Demon Lord clan boss is bloody everything, which thankfully I'm able to do on my main account, my free-to-play account. As for Nightmare Demon Lord, if you can get a team set up that can even 1-key Nightmare Demon Lord, that's a big deal as well. That's a big stepping stone in your account, right? Setting these teams up and getting that steady supply of shard income, on your account for the very first time, and farming like at least a couple of stages of Hydra for the first time in your account is always going to be more important than setting up your PvP champions. At the end of the day, what do you actually get from blasting the arena game modes? Apart from fun, if you really enjoy it, of course. Well, in Classic Arena, if you're able to hit Gold rank in Classic Arena, honestly, the tier bonuses and just stat-wide bonuses that you get, or like account-wide stat bonuses that you get, rather, across your entire account are pretty good, like 14% up to 22% in Gold 5. But honestly, you don't need that many Arena Specialist champions beyond like an Arbiter and like some good nukers and stuff, and just fast champions to get to like Gold 4. It's not that bloody difficult, you know, to get most of the way there, and so you don't have to sweat about this too hard. And as for Live Arena, believe me, the longer it takes you to hit Gold rank in Live Arena and get into Gold bracket in Live Arena, the better. You kind of want to stay in Bronze and Silver for a long time when you're on a newer account, okay? Be very, very careful about going up to Gold and rushing your way up to Gold rank inside of Live Arena, man, especially as a free-to-play player. At the end of the day, until you've got, like, for example, an Arbiter built alongside at least 2 additional 10-meter booster champions that bring big arena speed auras on your account, like the Arbiter's 30% speed aura right here. Until you've got like 2 or 3 champions in the similar vein as Arbiter and at least one champion that can bring some buff peel on your account, you're not going to have a very good time in Gold Rank and Live Arena anyway. You know, it's rough going up there, man. And at the end of the day, how much does it actually benefit your account anyway to be blasting in Live Arena sort of prematurely? Not that blasting prematurely, did I have to use that verbiage? It's not going to make that big of an impact on your account, is what I'm saying, okay? And so as cool as a champion like Hafrak is, and I'm very, very excited to one day build out, you know, like a 4-piece Stone Skin, 4-piece Savage or Lethal Hafrak, and build him very, very slow, but make him hit like an absolute truck in Arena, and that's going to be a hell of a lot of fun when that eventually happens, and getting him fully booked up is going to be part of that. I'm in no rush to do it, right? I've got to set up my Hydra teams. The Demon Lord Clan Boss team is kind of sorted at this point. I should have what it takes to 1-key Ultra Nightmare, to be honest, with the 4 turtles in a team on the free-to-play account, so that's kind of handled, but I've got a lot of work to do with building Hydra champions and getting multiple Hydra teams up and running before I want to even start thinking about building a multitude of PvP champions. For me, I'd say ignore them for now. They're mostly a little bit of a trap, and I've got some pretty good ones that I can look to build out on the free-to-play account. You know, I'm not exactly starved for options, but they are all on the back burner until such time comes that, you know, all of the other core areas of the game are handled before I ever start thinking about PvP. And lastly, tip number 7 is going to be, even before you start looking at building PvP champions, honestly, I'd recommend that if you've ever got downtime, saving up legendary skill tomes to fully book up legendary champions that you want to build on your account for things like Hydra teams and Demon Lord teams and stuff like that, right? In that downtime, build epic champions that can solo content. Like the Booba Lady right here, for example. Good old Lady Annabelle, man. Lady Annabelle is a monster for soloing Dreadhorn Bommel in Curse City and in Doom Tower, right? Heals the champion by 50% of her max HP whenever an ally or an enemy dies, including enemy bombs that Dreadhorn Bommel summons. And so as long as you've got masteries built up on your Lady Annabelle and she's in some good regeneration gear and it's moving decently fast, and ideally immortal and regeneration gear, by the way. I'm just kind of shoehorning in some speed right now because it's the best I can do. Point is, I built Lady Annabelle to solo one of the toughest bosses in the game, which is Dreadhorn Bommel. Absolutely worth doing. Another champion type that you can build out is going to be the likes of champions that can solo Ice Golem and that can solo Dragon, right? Messiah Priest Ornn is the first one that comes to mind. He brings big AoE poisons and poison sensitivity debuffs. He's also very, very tanky with his passive. Whenever a poison debuff is activated on an enemy, increases champion's HP and defense by 5%, stacking up to 25%. Great stuff. Makes it that if you can build a Messiah Priest in immortal gear and regeneration gear, and he's got enough accuracy to be landing his poisons and he's decent speeds and stuff like that, he can solo the crap out of stage 20 Dragon without too much trouble. And as long as you've got him built with a decent amount of resistance, I think it's like 250, 280 resistance or something like that. I'm just completely guessing, I can't remember. But if you build him with a decent amount of resistance in this kind of gear as well, he can solo Ice Golem too. And this is great to do because then you can solo dungeon tournaments using just Messiah Priest Ornn. Okay, there is actually a dragon tournament coming up. You can solo a dragon tournament using Messiah Priest Ornn, and you can fill up all of the other slots in the dungeon team. So just imagine that this is a Messiah Priest Ornn here and not a Leonardo, with food champions. You can just throw food champions into all of the other slots and be ranking up and leveling up new champions to use as chickens in the dungeon team, while just soloing the dungeon with your Messiah Priest Ornn. This is the kind of thing that you do when, you've got downtime on your account. You've got no other epic champions like Skrank or whatever, or like Ugo that you want to build to use, into Hydra. And there's no other big priority champions for you to be throwing books into because you're just waiting around for legendary skill tomes and stuff. You can go ahead and build these solo champions, and believe me, man, it might seem like, oh, it's such a luxury thing to do, Corb. I really don't want to invest resources in order to do that. Believe me, man, just do it. You don't know the benefit of these things until you've built a champion like this, and it's like, oh my god, man, I can now triple dip between a CVC event, a dungeon tournament, and champion training all at the same time. It's a massive, massive luxury to have, and it's going to save you a lot of resources in the long run. And so there you have it. Those are my 7 rules for success when it comes to knowing which champion to max up next on your account. 7 sort of criteria for building champions on your account, and how I go about it on my free-to-play. And, it's been working pretty good. It's been working pretty good, man. yeah, if I missed any tips like this down below, if I missed any tips in this video, make sure to go ahead and pop them down below in the comments, man, and help each other out down there, as I know you guys always do. Thanks for stopping by, man. Make sure to like on the video if you did indeed enjoy it. And of course, if you're looking to start off a new raid account, make sure to get that done right now by using the beginner promo link that's down below this video at the top of the description box, man, for a double legendary start. Best beginner promo link going and all of that good stuff, man. Thanks for stopping by, and I'm going to catch all of you guys just a tad bit later, man.